Hi.
Why and how did you get into dentistry?
Why? I was interested in a career with treating people, with people. I was a terrible English student, but I was pretty good in maths and sciences and so on. So I was interested in medicine or dentistry. And in those days, you were accepted into those programs based on your grade 13 grades, nothing else. Today, there's interviews and there's all kinds of things the students have to go through. So I applied for medical and dental school. I got accepted in medical school and dental school, both at Toronto and U of T. And I had to make a decision what to do. So I didn't know. I had a summer job that summer, and I was working with a gentleman who was a school teacher, a little bit older than me. And he said, and I didn't like my dentist particularly. He was not an influence on me. I did have a friend who was a couple of years older than me who was in dental school, who was really, really enjoying it, and he was promoting it. So I had a summer job, and this fellow there, Bill, said, you know, he had a wonderful dentist. Let me give him a call, and you can talk to him, get an idea. So he called up his dentist. His name was Dr. Murray Cornish. He was at St. Clair and Oakwood in Toronto. We went to his office, and it blew me away. He was so friendly, so nice, so encouraging, so motivating. His staff were so nice to me. And I said, I want to be a dentist. And that's what it was.
So what drew you to teaching then?
Teaching. Okay, when I was in my final year at school, you had to do so many procedures to get your requirements. And once you got all your requirements, you could do with the rest of the year that's left anything you wanted. You could go down and do extra surgery, you could do extra root canals, you could do extra crowns, but also you could do some teaching of the third year students, the class behind you. So I spent a little bit of time working with the third year students. I was graduating shortly, but I was a good student, so I was working with them, helping them treat their patients, and I got interested in it.
Nice.
And then after I graduated, Dr. Bruce Horde, who was head of the restorative department, said, David, I see you enjoyed the teaching, you're good at it, why don't you come down and teach here? So I said, okay. So I opened my office at Yonge and Eglinton. I just opened up an office up there to start with. And I gave the university 1 day a week, and I was in my office the rest of the week. And that's how I got into it, and I'm still doing it.
Wow.
And I love it.
So it's been 61 years at U of T then?
Yeah, a long time.
So how do you feel that the education for dentistry has evolved over those years?
Dentistry's changed so much over the years. There's so many new things that we're doing today that we never did. Implants came along a number of years ago. When I was a young graduate dentist and student, there were no implants. Everything had to be either a removable bridge or a permanent bridge, depending on the quality of the other teeth. Today, implants are a big thing. Today, surgery is so different. Gum disease treatments are so different. Dentistry has become so amazingly terrific to save people's teeth. When I started practicing, most, if not all, of my senior patients, older people, had dentures, had false teeth. Today, I retired from practice 4 years ago, and a very nice young dentist took over my patients, but my patients didn't lose their teeth. The whole world's changed.
So based on your experience, what can incoming dentists do to set up their future successes?
Okay, today it's tough today. When I went to dental school, my tuition fees were not very high at all. My parents didn't have much money, so I used to get a summer job. I made enough money in the summer doing my crazy jobs that I did. That's another story. And to pay my tuition, I even have money left over. Today, the kids are paying at the University of Toronto. I think the tuition fees are at least $50,000 a year, and they've got 2 or 3 years to get a science degree, then 4 years of dental school. They come out of school with so much debt. So it's a different pressure on students today. If a young dentist wants to, they almost have to go out of town.
Yeah.
They have to go to different parts of Ontario, whatever, where they're needed. So it's a heck of a lot tougher to get started today than what I had.
Okay, so early career dentists value hearing the experience of established dentists. what financial advice would you give your younger self? Would you share?
Well, I'm not a financial expert, you are. Once you start accumulating some extra funds, get involved with good investing people like yourself to help you do good investments and so on. So you have to just work hard, purchase wisely. You don't have to go out and buy the most expensive car you can drive. You can adjust your life and things will come along nicely over a period of time.
Great. When and how did you come to work with CDSPI?
CDSPI, okay. When I got to the stage in my, first of all, I had an RRSP. So I was deferring taxes by setting up an RRSP. And what I did was I had a self-directed RRSP. I thought I was smart enough to be able to manage that myself. And I wasn't bad, but I wasn't super great at it. So my RRSP was in function, and I was connected with a stockbroker, and I ran into some serious problems with my stockbroker who ended up in jail. So I needed another avenue for things. And I heard about CDSPI was a new fledgling company, so to speak. And one of my friends, who was a periodontist, he was very involved with CDSPI. He was the major investor for CDSPI in those days. He was a pretty smart guy and he knew a little bit, but CDSPI wasn't what it is today.
Of course not. Yeah.
So he was a friend of mine. I was looking to get into a different situation where I didn't want to manage it anymore. So that's how I started with CDSPI. So I've been with CDSPI a long time, right almost from the beginning when you guys started.
Why do you continue working with CDSPI?
Well, Lamees, because of people like you, who I've worked with different people over the years, by the way,
yes,
and I've had some very good results with them. You've got my RRSP, which is now a RIF, plus other investment money, and we're doing pretty good.
Yeah.
So that's why.
Okay.
I'm looking at the bottom line.
I want to take this opportunity actually to say thank you for your time to dentistry. Thank you for sharing your journey and your experience with us. I hope a lot of young dentists look at you and get inspired, or young people get inspired to get into dentistry. I want to thank you for 62 years teaching. Given that it's freely of your time is amazing, and I want to honor that. And thank you very much.
Thank you. I've enjoyed. Can I just say a couple of things? Mm-hmm. I really enjoyed my professional life. I think it was the best thing for me, and I would do it again. And I think one thing I want to add too is practicing any profession, you've got to have a good balance in your life too.